Man, I'm expecting a calculated and professional performance this one. Not to say that I don't want to get in a war.
The AllStar app, the #1 app in the business. UFC, Bellator, One Championship, PFL, and more. Get the app right now. Link in description. I want to jump into your last fight first, man, because I thought that fight was just an incredible fight. It's just rewatching it and watching the highlights. How many times have you watched it? How many times do you usually watch like your own fights?
Um, Man, I'll probably just watch it a few times, I would say. And then usually leading up to my fights in the last kind of couple of weeks, I like to watch my fights back and see just the things that I'm doing on a regular that I shouldn't be doing.
Mhm.
Yeah. So usually I'll just watch them back like maybe once or twice at the start, and then yeah, I'll watch it back a few times before I fight. And most of my fights, I'll watch them back and just try to pick up other tendencies that I haven't really been as honed in on.
How was it dealing with the hand speed of Michael Johnson, man? Because I feel like he's one of the fastest fighters we've ever seen in the octagon.
Yeah, man, that was like I think in the first round when he hit me, that kind of woke me up to just how fast that he really is. And yeah, then I was a lot more aware of it after I got tagged in that first round, and just really felt that speed. And then going through the fight, it was a matter of trying to take it off him, trying to get him to throw, and then just get test the waters with it. But yeah, I feel like I adjusted well after that first knockdown, and then it was just a battle, man. After that.
Yeah, for sure. It was a crazy battle. Did you feel like in that first round, like in your mind, like you thought, man, I need to turn this into more of a dogfight, or was the dogfight already like in your mindset heading into it?
Well, yeah, I think after that first round, especially the way it ended, like he clipped me, then I clipped him, and that last 10 seconds, we were just throwing for the hills. Then it was just that set the tone for the rest of the fight. I feel like then I upped it in the second round. Had a very good round, and then he got away on the third round with volume and points. So I feel like he went more on volume instead of like big power shots, which was a good adjustment by him. And yeah, that kind of set the tone for the fight, though.
For sure. And coming off the Jalen Turner fight, what does a victory like that do to your mindset?
Yeah, it was important, man. Just it was a good thing to just get back on the horse and just be back in the win column. Like I've been doing it for a while now, so it's not like a loss doesn't it doesn't phase me massively, but it always makes you hungry. Like when you get a loss, it's just back to that little bit more urgency of I've got to get back in the win column and get that hunger back as well. So yeah, it was very very good to get back and just be back to where I am and going forward with good positive mindset.
After the fight, in the post-fight interview, Ross Pearson was talking about the wrestling, and and then, I thought that was a pretty funny moment there where, you were like, I was supposed to wrestle, but man, I just love fighting. It's just I love getting into a fist fight.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's it, man. And sometimes the fight doesn't go to plan as well. And I knew that Michael was going to be very. I knew he's very good at wrestling defensively as well. So that might have even swayed my mind a little bit on pressure wrestling him because I know he's hard to take down. It's hard to keep down. But yeah, when the fight's on and when it's just like it wasn't like what I was doing wasn't working. So when it's working, like just keep going with it. And it was a good, fun, entertaining fight for the fans too.
Yeah, and picking up that extra check helps a lot, right?
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, that's it's always a bonus. It's and it's like you need the right dance partner for that as well, you know. So no, I was grateful for that as well.
Yeah. You were supposed to return at UFC 280, and then you were pulled from that fight with the injury. What happened in that situation?
Yeah, we signed to fight Mustafaev, Magomed Mustafaev, and I got injured around five weeks out from the fight, and we strapped it up and kept training. But when I got a scan done, I had a pretty significant injury. I tore the ligaments, so yeah, we it wasn't the right call. If it had it torn anymore, it would have needed surgery, which obviously no one wants. So yeah, we just made the call of live to fight another day.
How long did it take you to get back to 100%? How long did it take you to recover from the injury?
Man, close to 12, 13 weeks. It was a nasty one. And yeah, depending on how your body heals, they gave me a time frame of 2 to 4 months till full recovery. So now I'm like completely up here confident in it, because that's the big thing coming back from a serious injury for me anyway, is when you have to mentally not be guarded to that injury anymore. That's a big, because your mind and your
Yeah.
body are working together, right? So yeah, the biggest thing for me was just being able to let go and be relaxed and be back to full training and confident in my ability. And yeah, it took about 12 weeks, I think.
Was the Perth card like on your mind even throughout the recovery?
Yeah, 100%. When I heard that Perth was coming, I figured if I can get my body right in time, which I did, it would be perfect timing. The Perth card, I think there was rumors about it even when I signed the fight for October,
Yeah.
um, for the Abu Dhabi fight that I had to pull out of. So that was already in my mind to put on a good performance in Abu Dhabi and then back it up again at home in Perth. And unfortunately, like I would have loved to have got to a fought, and my bank account would have loved to have fought,
Yeah.
but these things happen. So yeah.
For sure. And they had you lined up against Nasrat, which everybody was excited about, man. Everybody's thinking, that's another fight of the night type of clash right there, like the Michael
Yeah.
Johnson fight. And then, unfortunately he had to pull out, and then they give you this newcomer, Francisco Prado. What did you think of the switch up?
Yeah, this guy's. I would have loved to have fought Nasrat. Maybe that's one that will be redone down the line, I think, because that'll be a good battle. And this new guy, Francisco, yeah, he's gonna have that. I think he's undefeated, so he'll probably have that undefeated mindset where he's invincible. And he'll probably have like a lot of energy that he'll bring into that first round of the fight. And I'll be ready for that, man. I think I'm just ready to show him the levels. That this is another level of fighting, and we're very confident, and it's still going to be a battle. Like it's still they always are, but we're pretty confident in our skill and ability that we can put this one away.
You went, quite a few fights, man, undefeated. And when you were undefeated, like what was going through your mind the whole time? You know what I mean? Did you feel invincible?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I did, and there I believe that those like I would think that being fighting an undefeated fighter is not even sometimes as dangerous as fighting a guy that's had a few losses, because that guy knows that you can be caught. He knows that there's other tough guys out there, man, and I don't believe that Francisco's fought that level where the guys aren't going to wilt. They're not going to wilt under the pressure, and that's just going to be a learning curve for him.
when you look deeper into Francisco, what did you see, like, as in skill set or things that he does well?
He creates a lot of pressure. He's definitely looks like a durable guy. So we're aware of that. I'm going to be aware of that. He's not going to go down off one, two, three shots. But let's see how he's going in the later rounds when I'm just racking up the points and racking up those accumulation of damage. I think that's going that's going to force a way out for him. But in terms of how he fights, he's a gamer, man. He's a gamer, so I'm not taking him lightly at all.
There's a lot of familiar faces on this card, guys that you have trained with and have done camps with. Are you doing this camp with those same faces?
Yeah, I am. I'm down here in free in Windang freestyle
Mm.
gym with Joe Lopez and Alex Volkanovski. That's where I'm doing most of my camp. And again, it's the same as last time. I'm going a little bit back and forth in between my gyms, going back and training with Ross and honing in on the fight specific game plans and stuff with him. But there's a lot of good bodies down here, man. So we're training hard.
Anything that you've tweaked though, like in the last maybe 2 years or so, or something you added to your camp or added to like your recovery or something like that that has benefited you that you really felt like has changed?
I can't really put it down to one thing. It's just um, it's a constant game of trying to get the little advantage everywhere you can. Um, I've been focusing a lot more on my sleep, trying to get my sleep a lot better. Just basic stuff, man. Basic stuff like that. Worrying less about the uh, like getting all this extra recovery and extra this, extra that, going to places like, you know what I mean? I'm focusing on just getting the basics right and just adding to my game, my skills and yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting, right? Some guys they use all these scientific things, right? You see them in their little videos training and they got masks on and tubes are tied to them, stuff like that. There's certain guys that are just like, let's just keep it simple. Like let's just do it old school. Is that kind of like you like that style?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I feel like the more learning and the more I'm looking at the guys at the top that are right at the top of the game, um, it's just like the basics uh, are the key. Not having to go and attach monitors to your chest and do all these crazy like different exactly what you're saying, all the high tech stuff. It's just like eat enough uh, eat enough calories, make sure your body's fueled, and then get enough sleep. Just keeping it simple.
Yeah, it's pretty insane that you're doing your camp with Alex, I mean, you've done your camp with Alex before, but this time it's like a historic camp, I mean, you're on the same card as well, which kind of you kind of get that rub too, right? Like you get the rub and he also, talks about his training partners helping him as much as, you know, he helps them, which is pretty insane to
Mm.
me, like the camaraderie that you guys have created.
Yeah, man. No, and I'm really excited to be sharing the same UFC card with him. We haven't fought on the same card before. We've always been like a week apart, and yeah, it's going to be special. It's going to be a special night. Fighting alongside him and my brother Josh Coolabah. Like we've been
Yeah.
talking about this for years. Me and him. We started as amateurs together and.
Mhm.
It's going to be really special. Like it brings a smile to my face just talking about it, man. It's going to be unreal.
Yeah, it's great to see that, what I mean? It's great to see you guys actually get on all together on one card, what I mean? It's very rare to have that happen, especially at the top of the game and reaching the top of the game together too, what I mean? Like that doesn't happen
Yeah,
quite so often either. When you're amateurs, most of the guys fall off eventually.
yeah, yeah. No, me and Josh were just talking about that the other day. Um, that it literally was our kind of dream. to do this together from when we were. I think me and Josh met when we were like 17, and now 11 years later, like we're actually doing it. Not many people can say that, man. And it's special, and I think that energy coming into this fight when we're there, when we're in Perth, in front of our home crowd, it's the first time we've fought in front of our home crowd in years as well, since COVID started. So it's going to be a really, really historic event.
You guys accomplishing your dreams together. You know, usually people accomplish their dreams by themselves, you know, because that's their dream. But you know, to have someone simultaneously do that at the same time, it's very rare, and it's something that you could take in, and you know, I'm in awe of it. You know what I mean? Like as a spectator. What do you
Yeah,
think, man,
thank
in
you.
this fight? Yeah, what do you think in this fight, man? What are you expecting out of yourself in this one?
Man, I'm expecting a calculated and professional performance this one. Not to say that I don't want to get in a war. Like we know from my fights that I don't shy from that at all.
Mhm.
So if it comes, man. But I'm expecting a more calculated Jamie Mullarkey in there. Yeah. I just want to show the levels and show how much my game is really improving, how much I can mentally keep it all together, and that's what you're going to see.
Yeah, and you're only 28 as well. You're still super young. You know, even though
Mm.
you have 6 fights in the UFC, it's not we haven't even seen the best of you yet.
Yeah, 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 absolutely. That's what it is. We're coming into that. I believe I'm coming into that prime age where,
Mhm.
and I'm gathering more skills and more little facets to my game. So I think that it's all going to really come together these next few years for me. But I'm just keeping my eye on one step at a time at the moment,
Yeah.
and that step right now
Yeah.
is Francisco Prado, February 12th. Gonna get it done.
February 11th, UFC 284, Perth, Australia. Go in the descriptions, download the AllStar app. Jamie, thank you so much, man, for the time and all the best in the fight, man. It's incredible that you get to fight back at home and put on another show, man. Thank you.
No, thanks so much, man.